I'ma say it by my side, I'ma say it by my side, I'ma say it by my side, What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
You against you fitness.
Yes.
You
Had to
know
do
what
our
time
work
it
today.
is? It's Friday. It's Matt Martin.
Yes.
The infamous Matt Martin of the 47th Ward.
Oh, Matt Martin here.
Yes. What's up, Maddie? What's up, young Maddie? We're gonna let a couple people come in.
Man, so I want to have many people going to that drag queen protest with us. Everybody was talking about how terrible it is.
Let's
Everybody talking about how terrible it is. I want to see how many people gonna show up this time.
I understand what happened to my camera. It says your browser lost connection. Make sure you have the right camera. You hear see me?
No, I can't see you.
But you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Let's see what we got going on. Let's see.
Yeah. I wonder how many people gonna show up to that protest because it's drag queen. This time they gonna be performing. I can see you now.
Oh, performing.
Yeah, they're gonna be performing, reading, and remember they're gonna have gender affirming stations that they going to.
Wait, just this one?
Yeah, the one we getting ready. The one on the 9th, June the 9th.
I didn't even know they had all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be like a little festival.
Yeah, a little festival. Mm-hmm. Yep. 3. Yep. H is what, 3 to 5. See how many people come out and protest that.
It says join the Chicago Sis Red as we protest drag story time Monday, June 9th. Meet at 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Edgewater Branch, Chicago Public Library, 6000 North Broadway, Chicago, Illinois, 60660. It's advertised for kids from 2 to 5 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yep. See how many people show up. If y'all can go to Chicago on X, Chicago Flips Red page, and we have the flyer on there as well. If you all want to go look at the flyer and everything, go on X.
Yeah, I think this is in Maria Haddon's ward.
Mm-hmm.
And little birdie, I was told that she was going to come out and protest, which is crazy because I heard that her ward, the seniors are getting displaced for the Vinnies, and the Vinnies are the Venezuelans. They call them the Vinnies over there.
Yeah, and I'm getting messages on Facebook now. People now their eyes are opening. Now they're saying on the west side, Vinnies are all taking over the west side. So I said, oh, okay. So now it's hitting your front door.
Vinnies.
Now you see. Yep. They said Vinnies on the west side it's a lot of them on the west side.
Yep. A lot of them on the west side.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
There's a lot of them everywhere. We're gonna get into the Vinnies after we talk about our man Matty Martin.
Yeah.
All right, Matt Martin, born March 5th, 1984, 80s baby, is an American politician who currently serves as a member of the Chicago City Council for the city's 47th Ward. He won election as alderman in 2019. I'm trying to tell you, 2019 was everybody snuck in 2019. Nobody was paying attention.
Biden got in. Look, they got everybody right.
Everybody got in 2019. Ooh, that should be burned off the map.
From the federal to the local level, they got
to
in.
The federal to the local level. It was over for these blue cities.
Hey, Joyce. How you doing, Joyce Foreman? Saying, she said, I know y'all seen the footage when ICE came out and they lied on them. Yes, we did. Hey, Joyce. Hey, Maurice.
He won election as alderman in 2019 and re-elected in 2023. The 47th Ward includes all the parts of North Center, Lincoln Square, Lakeview, and Uptown neighborhoods. Matt Martin was born in Arizona and attended Northwestern University on a music scholarship, where he majored in jazz studies and political science. Well, at least he majored in political science. I ain't even
Right.
He later graduated from Harvard Law School. Harvard Law School getting a lot of slack. I don't even. Harvard Law School not even what you thought Harvard Law School was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So Harvard, boo.
Mm-hmm.
Martin later worked as a civil rights lawyer in the Illinois Attorney General's office and co-founded the Heart of Lincoln Square Neighborhoods Association. Matt Martin's campaign emphasized funding public schools, maintaining affordability in the ward, property tax relief for homeowners, and police accountability. He was endorsed by the Chicago Tribune, which noted that Martin has an independent streak and shares our determination that a new city council put away its rubber stamp and flex its legislative muscles. We believe Martin can be influential new voice on a re-energized council. In addition, he was endorsed by former Cook County Clerk David Orr and organizations such as One People's Campaign and United Working Families. Gang. United Working Family is a gang. He finished first with 39% in a 9-candidate field in the election held on February 26, 2019, and then faced Michael Negron, who finished in second place with 21.4% in a runoff election held on April 2nd, 2019. Following the first round election, he received a number of additional endorsements from elected officials and organizations, including 49th Ward Alderman-elect Maria Hayden, 35th Ward Alderman, former 35th Ward Alderman. He is now corrupting the Park District. Carlos Ramirez Rosa, U.S. representative that no longer going to be running. James Shawoski, the Chicago Teachers Union, another gang.
And gang. Mob.
Gang.
Mm-hmm.
Catch them everywhere. Catch them at this drag story time, June 9th. They're going to have some people out there that they're paying. In SEIU Healthcare, Illinois, on April 2nd, 2019, he won the runoff election with 62.6% of the vote. On April 10th, 2019, Martin joined 6 other newly elected disgraced city council members in protesting against the approval of the tax increment financing for the Lincoln Yards and the 76 real estate developments. Now, I will tell you this. Lincoln Yards, him protesting that, I appreciate that. Because that shit was and it's not, I gotta talk about it another day, but okay, I give you that. City budget, Matt Martin was one of the 11 aldermen who voted against Mayor Lightfoot's proposed 2020 budget alongside other members of the Progressive Caucus. In a statement, Martin said, "While I commend the mayor and her budget team for filling this year's budget gap without layoffs or a significant property tax increase, I saw a number of critical missed opportunities to seek more progressive sources of revenue, fund our social services in a more robust manner, and pursue structural changes that will set us on a path to solvency." Martin held multiple public events and town hall meetings about the budget before and after the votes. At the start of 2019, 23, Martin joined City Council's Progressive Caucus and the Do Nothing Black Caucus.
So he joined both of those, the Progressive and the Black Caucus?
Yes.
Why they always be on both of them? Yeah, this is... We need a whole new.
Matt Martin is serving his second term as alderman of the 47th Ward. He lives in Lincoln Square with his wife, Caitlin, and son, Isaac, and daughter, Amina. Prior to being elected alderman, Matt worked, of course, as a civil rights attorney to Illinois Attorney General, where he focused on important issues including police reform, immigration, health care, and workers' rights. As an alderman, he believes it is critical to be independent, transparent, and willing to take on big challenges like maintaining and expanding affordability, fully funding our schools, and addressing community violence. He is chair of Ethics and Government Oversight, which Brandon Johnson handpicked him, environmental protection and energy, pedestrian and traffic safety, budget and government operations, finance, public safety, license and consumer protection, and rules and ethics. He has awards in 2024 Reform of Illinois Outstanding Leadership in Ethics, 2023 Active Transportation Alliance Safe Street Champion, 2021 Community Advocate Award from the Network Advocating Against Domestic Violence, 2021 Edgar Fellow, and 2020 Cranes 40 Under 40. He says his mission, he says his office works to serve the interests of all our communities. We are guided by the following values: transparency and accountability. Our office works hand in hand with the communities of the 47th Ward. We make information about new developments in our decision-making process publicly available on our website. Efficiency, we work to find ways to simplify processes, and we are using technology to expand our capacity and to build a better ward office. Proactiveness and responsiveness, we actively follow up on service requests, anticipate problems when possible, and work to address systems, not only symptoms. Environmentalism, we prioritize products that build a more sustainable community, address climate change. We are working to reduce our emissions, create more green spaces, and build a green economy. Community building, we ensure decision-making bodies are representative of the diversity of our neighborhood, working to ensure that all residents have a voice in the decisions that impact us and bring residents together to accomplish our shared goals. Equity, we are committed to building an office in government in which all residents can find an advocate regardless of social, economic status, language, race, religion, sexuality, immigration status, and other status.
They all when I say, I mean, they all had the same resume. They all, when I say look at their policies and look at, they always the same things. These people are just, it's the same. You're going to get the same thing no matter what face, no matter what person. It's the same thing. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's civil rights, for illegals, police, all this caucus, the do nothing black caucus, the progressive, it's always the same thing. That's what they all have in common.
No, you're right. You're right. With him, let's see. Let's get into because I shouted my man out. Let me add this to the stage. Hold on, I gotta take this nigga off the stage. Add him to the stage.
Okay.
Some type of compensation and some type of justice. And some media. I gotta go. Why do I have to get killed, or my family member has to get killed in order for me to find a civil rights attorney? And that's the problem. Our civil rights are being violated on the regular, and we cannot find any attorneys. So for this election coming up, and you've got all these people that want us to, the Democrats. The Democrats is fucking me over in Chicago. We have the most representation in Black Democrats, and I can't get no help. Even they'll tell us, the aldermen and stuff, you need to get a lawyer. How the fuck can I get a lawyer? There's a civil rights attorney, Matt Martin. He is an alderman. You're a civil rights attorney. You see me coming in there every week.
Isn't that a conflict of interest?
It doesn't matter, nigga. You can find somebody.
Yeah.
You know, you're like it's just messed up. Like you're hearing.
Okay, hold on.
You're hearing this. You're hearing
You
this.
know,
But you're fighting.
I'm new to this. I'm new to this. All right. So yeah. So basically, yes, he's a civil rights attorney, and he's not obligated, because he's not my alderman. He's not obligated to help me. However, as a civil rights attorney who did work for the Attorney General's office, yeah, like that's
and who's part of the Black Caucus and the Progressive Caucus. You see what I'm saying? You Black, right? No, come on. You got an issue, right?
I mean, I just feel like as a person who worked for the Attorney General's office and had time in the Attorney General's office, by law, I feel like you should. You understand?
Right.
Like if you are you have the legal training to civil rights and the constitutional law. You have a higher duty of care and knowledge than the average alderman. A professional obligation under Rule 8.3 of the Illinois Rules of Professional Conduct to report judicial or governmental misconduct.
That's it. That's it, so, right there. So it's his duty. That's what I'm saying. It's just
so that's how I felt. That's why I brought it up, because mind you, this was going on a year that you see us down there, and he'll turn around. He's the one at the end. I mean, he's the one that his chair is right next to the mic, so he'll turn around.
Yeah, he'll turn around, look at you,
shaking his head. You understand?
He turn around, be like, "Yeah, yes."
Yeah. On top of that, you are the chair of ethics. Government oversight.
That right there. That's what I said. Those things alone takes. They take priority over, just your automatic purpose, because you're involved in a whole lot of things that, like you said, just ethic alone should be what you should come and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? Right. It's just, it just goes back to show you we have no representation. We keep saying that. None. Illegal aliens have way more representation than American citizens right now.
Yeah, we out here just winging it. Like, we don't have, and the crazy thing is to sit here and be a part of the because that's another thing. Like, the Progressive Caucus, and this is what I think people need to understand too. The Progressive Caucus is a joke. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what I don't know what made, I'm looking right now, there's a Progressive Reform Caucus of the Chicago City Council is a block of aldermen in Chicago City Council that was formed in 2013. Its stated mission is creating a more just and equal Chicago, combating all forms of discrimination, and advancing public policies that offer genuine opportunity to all Chicagoans, especially of those who have been left out of our society's prosperity. As of 2023 to 2027, it had 19 members. Now, mind you, the co-chair is Maria Haddon, Andre Vasquez. The secretary is Matthew Martin. The treasurer is Julia Gutierrez. You know what I'm saying?
So if that's the case, when you have to apply, when any job that's talking about you have to be bilingual, that's your fault. You know what I'm saying? That's the part of discrimination.
But
everything.
Who's running it? Look who's running. Look who's running it. I think that's the that's the problem. And they just made Andre Weird Vasquez, the co-chair for that, and he automatically came with the stole Mama Dora's whole thing, like Hispanics supposed to get 21.7% jobs. Like what?
See?
Yeah, so yeah, but but I will say when it comes to Matt Martin, let me see if I could do this again. Hold on. I'm learning this.
I see. You got to, you're doing good.
Okay. So I remember when Matt Martin proposed this referendum. The key committee it was an ordinance to give Chicago boards education ethics the power to rein in political contributions from lobbyists over the objections of Mayor Brandon Johnson. And in the beginning, when he first brought this ordinance, Mayor Brandon Johnson was okay with it. So basically, this ordinance is that lobbyists, major people cannot continue they can't do the pay to play with politics.
Right.
You understand?
That's
so basically,
good.
It should be to give everybody a chance to get in government. Everybody ain't got the money like that. Everybody's that. So I did so when he did bring this, when Matt Martin brought this, and I remember when he first brought it, I was like, okay, you understand? Because it's good. Now,
right.
And he was this. You see how he looked now. Look at how he looked now compared to this. You understand? This is when he was starting to use the money to fix his ugly ass up. But he at first he was okay with it because he didn't think it was going to pass.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But once it passed, him and Matt Martin aren't as ally. That was his ally at first. He's the one who put him over this as chair. He appointed Brandon Johnson, appointed Matt Martin as chair over ethics and government oversight. But he wasn't okay with this, but he really thought that it was not going to pass. So it says a key city council committee today. So this was June 6, 2024 when this passed. A key city committee today advanced a measure. Well, actually, I think it approved on the 12th, I think. But today advanced a measure to give Chicago Board of Ethics the power to rein in political contributions from lobbyists over the objections of Mayor Brandon Johnson. The ordinance would codify an executive order dating back to former Rahm Emanuel's administration, barring lobbyists from giving political donations to the mayor and extending the ban to any candidate for the office. After an amendment was added to provide a 10-day grace period where the contribution can be returned without the lobbyist being penalized, the Ethics Committee approved the measure with only Alderman Chris Talafero, 29th, which I'm starting to realize that he's a piece of shit, but voting no. The vote came after a frenzied delay to the meeting as the committee huddled to discuss the changes and sort out the mayor's position on the ordinance. Alderman Matt Martin's 47th, who chairs the committee and introduced the measure on behalf of the Board of Ethics, told reporters it was approved over the mayor's objection, and he expects the full city council to follow suit when it takes the ordinance as soon as June 12th. So yeah, it was June 12th. The mayor's office made clear that they did not want to move on anything. Martin said, they let me know that there were no changes that could be made that could bring them into support. The mayor's office did not immediately return a request from Crane at the moment. Shout out to Business Crane. Business Crane. I like to get my information from them when it comes to business, ethics, anything like that. The executive order on the books banned lobbyists from contributing to the mayor's political committees, but the Board of Ethics determined this spring board lacked the authority to enforce the order, effectively rendering it toothless. The issue came to a head after 4 lobbyists contributed to Johnson's campaign for mayor last year. In April, the Board of Ethics sought an outside opinion from legal giant Jones Day on whether the board was able to bring an enforcement action against any of the 4 lobbyists who contributed minor amounts to Johnson's campaign. The law firm advised the board lacked the authority, prompting the ordinance advance today. Board of Ethics Director Steve Berlin, which also he also is a piece of doo-doo, said if the ordinance was not approved, it would bring back the city. It would bring the city back to I forgot that word, that allowed lobbyists to contribute to the mayor, which would annul the spirit of one of Mayor Rahm Emanuel's key ethics reforms. We prevented the city from taking a really problematic regimen. That's what the word was, regimen. We prevented the city from taking a really problematic step backwards on a very important issue around ethics. Before the vote, the BGA, Better Government Association's Director of Policy, Brian Zaru, praised the ordinance and thanked the committee for extending the ban to candidates for mayor, not just incumbent. In a city with Chicago's troubled history, avoiding even the appearance of pay to play is critical for restoring faith in government. Johnson has not publicly commented on the ordinance, but his legislative affairs team, which is only Kennedy Bartley and another, because they have 5 of the real ones after this. And this may have been the reason why, because they probably didn't see nothing wrong with this ordinance, and he is a corrupt piece of doo-doo, so they got rid of him. So the legislative affairs is really Kennedy Bartley, who has no legislative experience. Made clear their objections and phone calls this week, according to the members of city council who told Cranes the mayor's team sought to delay a vote. Alderman Brian Riley, 42nd, criticized the mayor's team, saying, "It's a shame that this administration is not embracing a good ethics policy that was put in place by predecessor. The order only affects the mayor's office. The lobbyists are restricted to 1,500 contributions per year to members of the city council, as well as the city clerk and city treasurer. The measure also bans lobbyists from making a contribution to a candidate for mayor through a company they own at least 7.5% stake in if they actively lobby on behalf of the company. If a lobbyist violates the measure, he or she can be fined up to 3 times the amount of the contribution, and repeat offenders can be suspended for 90 days. The committee also approved 2 appointees, Sarah Jen Bonetta Bush, to serve as commissioners of the Board of Ethics. The board was not able to meet in March because it failed to reach a necessary quorum. Martin had urged Johnson to appoint new board members to ensure the board can continue to do its work overseeing violations of the city's ethics code. I thought it was appropriate for us to flag publicly the importance of filling these positions, filling them in a timely way so that we could avoid situations of not having a quorum," he said. Now, this is when I saw them. I saw Matt Martin starting to change the way he was voting. It was him. Timmy Knudsen, he's also part of the progressive, and I call him gay racist, Bennett Lawson. I started seeing that. I think they realized that the progressiveness that they thought that they were like the progressive Democrats that they thought, because the progressiveness is supposed to be the new version of the Democrat. Like, this is supposed to be the younger version. Like the new, So I think they realized that the Hispanic KKK was on Hispanic KKK, along with Brandon Johnson and CTU and them, was on a whole nother level. And then seeing us consecutively coming down there, talking about them like a dog, showing the money, breaking down the fraud, all that stuff. And I think they was like, I'm not, this is not what I,
right.
Up for it. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was going to be, daisies and smile and, you know, do a little bit of affordable housing, CBA ordinance and stuff. I didn't know I was stealing money like this. I voted for the immigrant money because I thought that y'all really was using it on the immigrants. Like, y'all stealing it? Oh, no. I don't want to be a part of this at all. So, like, a couple of them start moving real different on the progressive caucus people, the people who are progressive. Even when it came to the ShotSpotter thing. In the beginning, they all were for getting rid of ShotSpotter. Except Bill, David Moore, Monique Scott. Those three were they were very, very vocal about keeping it because David Moore, you know, he's an Auburn Grisham. There's parts of Auburn Grisham that you need, and just in general, until they figure out this situation when it comes to the law, the safety. You need something, right?
So you need to have something.
Yeah. Monique Scott, same with her. She's pleading. Basically, she's got one of the worst wards. You know, they shooting people across the street from elementary schools. They don't care. You understand what I'm saying? She's pleading. And then Bill, you know, he's asking for it too. Nobody else. No, now is 17 more. You understand? And 17 more black aldermen. And let's not forget Little Village, Pilsen, Gage Park. Lopez was the only Hispanic that was arguing on his side about keeping ShotSpotter. You understand? Like, anything but everybody else that in those wards that really needed, like, you would have thought Will Hall, bitch ass, would have been standing up. You would have thought
Stephanie Coleman.
What's his name? Ron Mosley. He would have been standing up, huh?
Stephanie Coleman.
Yeah, Stephanie Coleman barely make it down there. You understand? That nail appointment, like, every other day is time to get some stuff done. I don't know her. The church either calling her or she got a nail appointment. However, you would think that these people with Jeanette Taylor, sometimes she don't make it there when it's time to vote. Sometimes they miss the votes. And stuff like that. You know, when you go down there for so long, you see the pattern. Michelle Harris, you just had a shooting, a police officer just got shot in your ward over there on 83rd and Drexel. And I'm saying it was you because you were the only alderman that was behind Brandon Johnson's next to Snelling yesterday when he did early this morning when he did a press conference about the shooting. And honestly, Brandon Johnson looked like he had to say something, but Brandon Johnson really don't know what to say because he really don't give a fuck. You understand what I'm saying?
What to say. Yeah, and Brandon, he didn't have a chance to get his script together because it happened so fast. He didn't have a chance to get his script together.
Yeah. So, but they all, in the beginning, they all were, you know, for getting rid of ShotSpotter. So after Matt Martin, I started saying him looking changing different. Now Matt Martin really don't need ShotSpotter in the 47 ward. You know what I'm saying? But that's when I started realizing that he started really backing up from certain stuff, starting to see like, okay, y'all really might be some shit. Like they come in here and say this every day, but y'all might really be some shit. So, and I think also when you start talking to like your friends, your family, everybody's watching, you know, it's just, and, you know, people y'all make a decent salary. You understand? Like,
this is great salary.
Yeah, this is literally a part-time job. The ones who are who was never about the community, who was never about that life, they have made it a full time. Like Vodoliak and Ed Burke and Madigan had these jobs, these political positions, elected official positions, but they also had law firms. See what I'm saying? So people saying like they making a lot of money. They are, but they also have a law firm. They also have a business. These black aldermen, I don't know if any of them have a business.
Yeah, stealing our money and bad probably real estate.
Oh, I think Talaferro maybe got a law firm. I don't even think that they do. They don't. What you say? But stealing that, but buying real estate. Yeah,
well, yeah,
that's straight.
Yeah. That's really probably what they're doing. Like far as the because you think even family members allowing family members to accumulate their real estate.
Yeah, they still a big real estate. They don't care. They're buying up land. They're putting it in these trusts. That's a whole nother story. But yeah,
they said Talaferro is a lawyer on the side.
Yeah, he's a lawyer, but he's not. He don't have a practice. Like Vidoliak and them. Vidoliak and Burke to this day practice still running. You see Vidoliak Law Group. What they call? What's the thing
Billboard. The Billboard.
Yeah. He done went to federal prison twice. So I mean, I'm just making it make sense. Burke still got his law group. Why he in there? Why he in the feds right now? Counting the days. If he gonna wake up or get out, either way.
Right.
But it says 14 of the black aldermen in cities predominantly black wards voted in favor of the ordinance. Alderman William Hall, of course, Mayor Brandon Johnson's strong ally and boyfriend, was the only black alderman who voted against it. Alderman Lamont Robinson, Jeanette Taylor, and Walter Burnett was absent, of course, and did not vote. Alderman Matt Martin, 47th, and Maria 49th voted against the ordinance. So,
we talk about the lobbying
against it.
We talk about the lobbying ordinance.
No, the ShotSpotter.
Oh, the ShotSpotter. Okay, we talking about the shots.
Yeah, he voted against it. Say 14 of black aldermen voted in favor of the ordinance. So the ordinance was he would end the city's contract with ShotSpotter. Okay, and of course, Alderman Hall, he voted against it. Alderman Lamont, of course, they weren't there. But 14 out of 18 black aldermen voted in favor of the ordinance. So 7 months after Brandon Johnson announced he would end the city's contract with ShotSpotter, Chicago black aldermen went against him and joined the city's council to keep the gunshot detection system that supporters say keep residents in violent neighborhoods safe. The lucrative contract was set to end in 4 days when the city council passed an ordinance 33-14 that would give police superintendent Larry Stelling the power to enter into a new contract with ShotSpotter's firm Sound Thinking. 14 out of 8 black aldermen in the city's predominantly black wards voted in favor of the ordinance. So announced that they would end the city contract, went against him, and joined so to keep so 14 of them voted in favor of the ordinance. So you understand are you getting it? What I'm saying? All right. Then Alderman William Hall, a strong ally of the mayor, was the only black alderman who voted against it. Lamont Robinson and Jeanette Taylor and Walter Burnett Jr. were absent and did not vote. Alderman Matt Martin and Maria Haddon voted against the ordinance. So they voted against it. The vote kept months of debate in the city hall as Alderman David Moore spoke out against the mayor's decision and worked behind the scenes to get enough votes to keep the contract. Mayor Johnson announced February that the city would no longer use ShotSpotter as part of the campaign promise he made in 2023. So Alderman Pat Dow said 3 weeks ago, a young man on 46th Estate was shot in the wee hours of the morning. She thanked ShotSpotter because nobody called the police during those early hours. Dow also says ShotSpotter was helpful when seniors at a complex recently heard gunshots but didn't know where they came from. Of course, Alderman Emma always gives a passionate speech. So she gave a test.
Right.
She gave pastor a speech, and she says, "There's more guns on the streets than you realize." All right. And then the ordinance almost didn't make it to the city council floor. Alderman Michelle Harris voted in favor of the ordinance, but on Monday, in September, she had tried to stop the proposal from going to the city council by moving it from the rules committee that she chairs to another committee to make it ineligible for Rule 41. But the committee voted 30 to 17 against the move. Let me tell you something. She is.
Hold on. Let me thank the super chat. Super chat. Yeah, read that right quick. That's good.
Tyler, I truly believe they think they are white. Yes, Matt Martin, Maria, of course. Yes, these are the ones that say, because they mix a little. Well, I don't know about Angela Clay. I don't know who she is. But Matt Martin, mother is white. Maria Haddon, she's mixed. But yeah, because I don't know. Maria Haddon first she be Spanish sometimes. She be black, and then yeah. You're right, Tyler. So yeah. What I don't appreciate with Matt Martin is he's not. He may be. I believe that he is a snob. He thinks he's better. You know, he believes that, you know, he went to Harvard.
Right.
You know, and he was raised in Arizona. He probably was raised around barely no Negroes. He probably don't know who his daddy is. And he was raised probably white. And I'm not saying I'm not knocking that at all, but the only reason why you are acknowledging the Black caucus, because you don't go to shit for Black, you don't do nothing for you. You definitely are when it says the do nothing Black caucus, you definitely don't do nothing for Black people at all. The only thing that's probably Black that I see is maybe the Martin part. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You literally do not. It's like it don't really got nothing to do with me. Like, you a snob.
He can't relate. He can't relate.
Yeah,
and that's the whole thing.
He doesn't want to relate.
Yeah.
He doesn't want. Yeah, he doesn't. Not he can't relate. He doesn't want to relate. Jim Gardner is more Black than he is.
Exactly. Jim Gardner can relate. Yes, that's what I mean. He can relate better than him.
Jim Gardner is more Black than Matt Martin. That, and that's kind of like, that really is it.
Yeah.
You understand?
That's why you can't.
Northwestern University, so he thinks he's better, you know. He also worked on the front lines fighting back against Donald Trump's disastrous immigration and healthcare policy.
See?
You know what I'm saying? Like that. So that's
always thing. For the immigration. And see, that's why I say it's always the same. They had the same policies. It's immigration. And like you said, that's why it's so important to look at color, because people think, oh, he's Black, I'm voting Black, and doing that identity politics. But like you said, Jim Gardner can relate to, and it just
and
not.
They call him a whole white supremacist out this moment.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. And people don't even know, and they do that because he's white, you know, but not knowing his character, not knowing him. When you have these the faces, and they so far from our reality, I mean, they don't even want to relate. That's the thing. You're right.
Right. And he's a symbolism type person, because he probably, this is the this is just he cares more about LGBTQ rights, but who LGBTQ rights? Because I'm Black, I'm gay, I had a whole, hello, they still didn't say that. I don't think he's ever even said hello to me.
The Democrat Party policies. It's just the policies. They have to go along with the agenda and the policy. That's it. That's who these people are. Same different face, different person, same puppet.
Same
puppet.
Yeah. It's just so funny to me because he really being there like he is better. From his walk, he's learned how to stick his nose up and he don't really care about it. He feels like as long as he can take care of his he probably got three black people that live in his ward.
And that's who but that's who he's relating to. That's his constituents, and that's what it is. That's why they voted for him, because he probably relate to them. Those are the liberals, the white liberals.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they probably he trauma bond. That's a lot of things too, because my thing is I'm for all love who you love, be who you be. But when some men, black men, that's why it's very, very important. That's why we gotta get this family dynamic back, even with the co-parenting thing, because I remember going on his page. I went and found, I went on his Facebook page because I just could not believe that this man is a civil rights attorney. So I just
you fall down there talking about your civil rights.
A civil rights attorney, and you know what I'm saying? You see two black women, because Miss Jessica was down there too, and he took Miss Jessica's stuff. But Miss Jessica had to force him, and she never got an answer from him. If always somebody's gonna be calling back. It's like you giving it to these people, and it's like, well, what do you want me to do with it?
Right. I'm not going to help you. No way I'm going to help you.
Somebody from the Attorney General office, because you was working up in there.
Right.
You understand? You can't call nobody.
Nobody. They
ain't nobody.
Working.
Yeah. So I believe that I'm trying to get these. I believe that
You would say when you went on his Facebook post, what you saw?
His. I had to go see. I'm like, let me see if I can find a picture of his daddy or something. You understand? Nah.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Just his mom and stuff like that. I'm not calling that, but I'm like, maybe that, I don't see nothing that shows that you're black. What you made sure that, well, yeah, I'm on the black caucus. Yeah, I'm a member of the Black Caucus. Yes, the Do Nothing Black Caucus. The Do Nothing Black Caucus. It's none of them do that doesn't that's not the flex you want, man.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, Tyler said civil rights for Latinos and LGBTQ, right?
Yeah,
that's what the civil rights attorney for, right?
And illegals, but I think just the illegal Latinos, they don't.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Not nobody else now.
The legal ones. Yeah.
There's a lot I like about Alderman Martin and his staff. On the positive side, Josh has been incredibly helpful whenever I reach out with questions. I also like how his office advocates for projects that are good for the environment and how they make it a point to involve kids in some important decision so they can learn about government and taking to stand for what they believe in. I do not like Alderman policies when it comes to his crime. He comes across very pro-criminal and anti-police.
They all do.
Yeah, that's that progressive shit.
That's that, yup.
If we can't feel safe in our neighborhood, then nothing else really matters.
They all do. I keep telling you all, you got to look at policies. You got to look at those policies, and that's it. That's what you're going to get. Whenever you vote for any Democrat, you got to look at the policies, because the policies are their policies. Cell phone crime, the police. They fought LG drag queen story hours for your kids. Therefore, illegal alien invading your community. That's who unaliving your kids. All the men they want, and we were just talking. It's sad that we don't have no men in our community, no men to stand up and really.
I mean, look at this. This a whole civil rights attorney, black man, because he's part of the Black Caucus. He identifies as a black man with 2 black kids, Amina and Isaac. And you got a black woman that is part of the LGBTQ, because you be fighting for our rights too. And you see me going down there for 2 years, and you just stay.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly. Oh, yep, leave it back. Just take it.
Turn the fuck around.
Oh, yep.
I remember one time I was at the ethics meeting. It was in a small room, and I forgot to write my name. All right. So he was like, this doesn't have a name, but it says "Speaking for Black Chicago." So I was like, it's me. All right. So I go in there, and I'm like,
"You sure not?" So yeah.
Just speaking. I'm speaking for Black Chicago. It is ethics, and I remember Deborah Whisper was in there. And my thing is Deborah Whisper being all these meetings too. Now she is the inspector general. She is the city inspector general. I gotta do a Famous Friday on this bitch because I'm trying to figure out what is you doing. And, I heard you trash. You understand, but you really are. However, when I'm talking to him, like it's like all of them. It's like they all have this. That's it.
That's because you're not gonna get no help.
In their mind, like I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Hurry up, bitch. Hurry up. I don't care. Who cares? I don't care. So what?
Yeah.
All right, next.
Right. Hold on. Let me act engaged. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, then they might nod their head once in a while.
Yeah, or like Maria Haddon does. Let me get your information. Let me get your information here. Let me get your information. And you give her information. You get the information, and you ain't never gonna get nothing back from her. But she
got your information. Yeah. Right.
Let me get your information. Now, they call this person. They call him condescending. Alderman Martin. He has an attitude. He said, I've never been treated so disrespectfully trying to express a concern by a public servant.
See?
Yes, that's how it goes. That's how it happens, Jason. Jason, these people, and they don't care too. Like this, that's white Jason. White Jason, it doesn't matter. I said, this is a like, they don't care.
They don't care.
This is a let me go out here and act like the progressive shit was supposed to be like let me act like I'm out here like they want like be out here champion. Like they honestly don't care about the community. They don't care about America. They don't care. These are like these are the condescending pieces of shit that made it in government in 2019. These niggas these people should go on a wall. Don't you ever put these people back in government.
Right.
Ever. Yeah. I don't know why this man keep putting all this stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, that's those the AOCs, like you said, the Jasmine Crockett's, these people. Exactly. That's like you said, the party.
Tyler says that he's ruining Lincoln Square neighborhood.
Oh, they saying that? They saying he ruined it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they say he's ruining Lincoln Square neighborhood. Get out. They said the garbage cans are all over the place. They're broken. Can't get them replaced. He's very rude, and they will not make an appointment to speak with him. So he said trash just all over the place.
And you can't make an appointment to speak to him. And he
and even if you go down there, he's not gonna say nothing to you too now.
And he think he all that.
Oh no, yeah, he think he's a shit. They put it back on here. They put my man back on here. He do got some nice skin. It's giving real. He moisturizes very well. You see that cheek over there? That cheek is that cheek. I know he smelled good too. Now he look like he smelled good too now. But he is. This right here is cosplay. This is a cosplay piece of doo-doo. Okay.
So
He don't care about nobody.
Okay.
And like somebody said, they're all in everyone's pockets.
Yep. And we're paying his salary, you all. That's what I keep saying. If you all don't like it, you have the power to get that man out and vote somebody in who you trust. We have the power. We the people. So everybody's saying this about him, but he walking around thinking he better than the people in his constituents and people in his community. That's a problem.
Right.
That's a problem because these people pay your salary.
Yeah, and they and also, you know what? Maybe we don't know what an alderman is. So let me look up.
Yeah.
Let me because maybe we don't know. Is it maybe we are asking for too much or
right. What is the automatic responsibilities of all? Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, because I think that maybe we messing up.
Mm-hmm.
You know and I don't want to
do that. Yes, maybe we're asking for too much from Matt Martin.
Well, I think all of them, but right now, yes, Matt Martin. Okay.
Let's see if we're right or wrong.
Let's see. Let me make sure I got the best one. Okay. What does an alderman do?
Okay.
Look at this picture right here. This is a great picture of these people. Let me screen share this one. All right. I think you're going to like this one, y'all. Let me remove Maddie. Maddie, are you okay? All right. What does an alderman do? Look at this picture. Look at Jeanette Taylor right here. You see this picture?
But it's kind of far back. Yeah.
Let me see if I can.
Okay, now I'm zooming in. Yeah.
All right. Look at Jeanette Taylor right here. Please hurry up. That's Jason Big Suit Urban back there.
Man, those suits be so big.
So big, like for all that money he's stealing, and his wife, and for his wife to like be stealing money too. I don't know why they don't go like that's. I don't know if there's that. I don't know. I don't even want to say it's a West Side thing because Talaferro suits don't be that big. He's
because
Talaferro right there. Look at no good Michelle Harris. I don't know if she works here anymore, but she be with Michelle. I think she like her like a little, I don't know, her assistant or whatever, but I don't be seeing her down there no more. There's Scott Wegaspec. He cool. I don't have no issue with Scott Wegaspec yet. I mean, yeah. I think that he decent. This is Banana Suit Daniel LaSpata. This is a racist Italian progressive from Jersey. Brian Citro Terrorist Lopez. Nicole Lee, hey cousin, and Monique Scott, and look at Mr. Blakemore's head. Hey, Mr. Blakemore. All right. That's crazy. I know all them. That's kind of like
That's it. Right.
yeah. In Chicago, an alder is elected by the residents of a geographic area known as a ward to represent them as a member of city council. Whether or not you know who they are, your alder is the reason many things do or do not happen. And there's a lot of do not happening shit in Chicago, in your ward. They're about as close to home as an elected official can get in Chicago. Do y'all hear that? They're about as close to home as an elected official can get in Chicago. Shout out to City Bureau for that. I like that. I like how you put that. Big fish in a small pond, but when they head to City Hall, they're just one in a crowded fish bowl of 50, each doing a job differently. The 2023 municipal election promises to bring a lot of changes and twists, especially when it comes to the wards. First of all, the ward you live in may have changed. Of course, there's another thing that they learn how to do too, which we got to figure out how to stop that too. The redistricting shit is in the desert.
Yeah.
New lines for Chicago's 50 wards were approved by City Council last year based on population changes. Now, what population changes? The legal immigrants?
Right. Because how is it that one day this part of your ward, the next day it's not?
Right.
Yeah.
The 34th ward, which previously covered much of Roseland, was moved to a completely different side of town. It now refers to Greektown and other areas west of the Loop.
How? Who did that? Right. Like remember my ward, around where Alderman Lopez is my alderman. But remember just a little bit across, it was David Moore's, but it was just Alderman Lopez. When did that change?
Right. Did they let you know? Did you get a little letter or something in the mail?
No.
Oh. The 11th ward, long defined by the Daly family and the Irish, German, Polish, and Lithuanian, I hate that word, Lithuanian communities in and around Bridgeport, now includes Chinatown, making it an Asian majority ward with 7 very different candidates running to represent it. Plus, at least 16 wards will elect some different than the elders they had this time last year. A mix of the federal tax fraud conviction, 2 bids for mayor, 3 early resignations, and 10 retirements. What does an alder even do? The short answer, a lot, and alder responsibilities falls under 2 main categories. Citywide politics, sit on or chair city council committees, sponsors, discuss, and vote on legislation on everything from parking permits to mega developments, provide an accountability check on the mayor's power to set city policies and appoint city officials, pass the annual budget, and assess the performance of city departments. Ward-specific services represent the ward's best interests at City Hall, request street and infrastructure improvements, connect the ward's local businesses, organizations, and residents to city services and information. I would like to say this one more time. Ward-specific services represents the ward's best interests at City Hall, requests street and infrastructure improvements, connects the ward's local businesses, organizations, and residents to city services and information. So when you go down to your ward, to your alderman, and they act like they don't know about any city services and information, it's time to vote these pieces of shit out.
When you go to your alderman, they don't know what's going. When you say, "Why is this shelter in my community?" They say they don't know. Time to vote them out. When you go there and say, so when you go there and say, why are all these businesses not, if we're in the Black community, why we don't have no Black-owned businesses? Vote them out. Because they just
real fast. Real fast.
Because we just told you they're closest to your home. It's like you going to represent yourself. That's how close they are. So if you're going to go to your city council, you're going to go and say, hey, I'm looking for this business and that business. If you're in that board and you're going to represent you're not going to go there and advocate for a foreigner to be taking over all the businesses in your community, are you? So that you got to think about it like that. They just an arm of you going into this place. That's it.
So yeah, so if the Hispanics and the whites and the Asian aldermen can figure out the city services and information, and they got all their stuff over there, and the black aldermen have no idea about the city services, the shelters, anything like that, then it gotta be it's and they all are at the same, like they all meet up at the same place, 121 North LaSalle. They have 2 offices. They have an office in City Hall, and they have an office in each of the wards that we're paying for.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Yeah. What does it look like to do the job well? I don't know. Do you know? Few people are equally competent at public speaking, crafting legislation, community engagement, political negotiation, and constituent services, all while remaining likable, fair, and honest. It is more likely that a candidate excels in one area, like drafting policies that make one city a better place, but falls short in another, like working with the police commander. A criticism of progressive, no good Alder Maria Haddon that her 2 challenges have zeroed in on. Or they might be well liked but corrupt. Others may get elected even though they're just treading water. All while being involved in 2 accidental shootings, one of which was during a gun safety class you were teaching. With a span of months and being salty that the mayor didn't check in on you isn't necessarily the relevant to the job. It's not a great reason to be making headlines. I got to figure out which one, who was that? How do you choose who to vote for? Who you vote for comes down for the very situational factors of who's running, what your community needs, and what you personally value. So, all of them have to go.
So, I mean, you gotta come on, you all. It's just telling you what they supposed to do. Come on, you all. Look at your community. All of them have to go. Come on, and no, you don't have no representation of your community or what you want. This is great. This is great. I think we got to make sure we got to plaster this everywhere. Cut it up.
We got to read this every time. Yeah. This is a pledge allegiance.
Yeah. What is your alderman? What is an alderman? We need to plaster that for about a week. Alderman? Yeah, for about a week. And then
citybureau.org.
We need to now we're gonna have to plaster that for about a week. Let people see. Then we're gonna have to say
this every time we do every time we do the disgrace. I mean, every time we do Famous Friday Alderman.
No,
this has to be the beginning.
I need to put that on my platform and pin
it needs to be pinned because I don't think they know. Like, because I think because when you go and ask them any questions or concerns, they clueless just like you.
They clueless like you, and this just brings it home, so it can just get people to understand and relate. Because now that made it so simple to me. Okay, alderman is basically me going to represent myself. So what do I want? You know, that's what an alderman is. So right. Yeah.
But you have to represent yourself if you are a public servant, you are a humanitarian, and you care about your community. These people are going down there representing themselves. That's right. Why you don't have shit.
Right. But I mean, that can represent like my community. Yeah. If whatever my community is, then if I want, like you said, you know, nobody want high crime in their community. They want businesses in their community, and they want their clean community. Come on, are you all getting me that? That's what we want. So whoever we put to say, hey, you're going to go forward in this room and you're just going to say what we want you to say and do what we want you to do and represent us. How many of us are getting that from our aldermen? I know I'm, most of us not. Most of us not, especially with the black aldermen. No.
Right. In the 25th ward, which spans Lower West Side, the race has been particularly tense. Well, it was Alderman Brian Central Lopez. So they've been trying to get this man out
See?
Okay, I think this is his last. Now, this is going to be his last term. But I will tell you now, get these people out of office. You probably gonna have to bring in all the troops, every troop that we have everywhere, to get these niggas from out of office and probably out the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois. Yeah, because it's about to go down. I already see it. It's not going the way they thought it was going to go.
And we're going to get some, and we're going to have to demand some forensic audit, and we're going to have to put somebody in who is going to do just that. That's how you're going to do it. Get these forensic audits going.
It says here are 4 ways you can get a better sense of who best fits your bill. Identify your current alder who's running against them using the tribe's ward lookup tool, trib, tribe, whatever. I don't really rock with them, so I'll probably figure out something else. They are it's so sad to see a black independent journalist that's trying to start. They're trying to start, and they have literally sold their newspaper to the worst mayor in history. They're just gonna make them go out of business as soon as he goes to jail or gets voted out. Now, I would never sit down with them. Find an automatic forum happening near you to get quick read on how candidates compare and what others in the community think of them, which we need to do more of these. These forums are typically hosted by community groups and publicized on social media and other local news sources. Dig into what your current alderman has been up to, both in City Hall and around the ward. And that is true.
That's true.
Because city, you gotta like actually go down there and watch what they're doing, because they're coming back to you. William Hall is the prime example. William Hall will go and lie in his church about all the black resources and infrastructure. I mean, he in there lying like hell on Sunday. And going down, and then if you go down to City Hall, he will be down there. Whatever his boyfriend Brandon Johnson wants him to vote for, him, you can count him and Jason Irvin are going to make sure they vote for whatever it is. It is never nothing that is for the community. It's always something that is detrimental, because you gotta understand, the black communities we're already in blighted areas. We're already in communities that barely have anything as it is, because over time, all of these black aldermen have sold pieces of it just to the highest bidder.
Right.
Yeah. So digging around the wards, Chicago, Councilmatic allows you to explore key stats like how many years they've been in office, what legislation they've sponsored, and whether they're affiliated with political caucus. Local news coverage, social media, and other sources of information in your community. Check out who supports who, endorsements from public officials, labor unions, and other political organizations can tell you a lot about candidates' track records and values.
Right. So when you all are having drag queen story hours in your community and you don't know nothing about it, when you all are having illegals saturate your community and you don't know nothing about it, these are their responsibilities, you all. And then, who voted on this? How is this allowed here in our community? Who allowed this? That's what your alderman, that's their job, to come back and tell you, look, this is what they're trying to do. I need you all to come up to city council. I don't care if you got to take off work. I need you to be there to let y'all heard, because this is what they're trying to do in our community. This is what your alderman, like Blacks has said, I can barely get my alderman on the phone. That's a problem. Vote it out. Those are problems. There's no way. Yeah, they supposed to inform you, and you supposed to be at the city council meeting. And like Zoe said, imagine if William Hall Church came to sit in those meetings and see how he was voting. he wouldn't be able to do it. He
Yeah,
wouldn't be able to.
he really in there lying to them people.
He lied to, just like Yancey. That's when Yancey was in there lying to the Hyde Park citizens. And we had to go in there telling him he a liar. He's lying. Because he do the same thing. But if you're not down there seeing it, they're gonna come back and they're gonna act like they Jesus to the community.
Now let me tell you about this. Now he put it was a resolution that I don't know if is it Chris Talaferro, but he approved. But he signed in on it. He agreed on it. Called for Commissioner of Human Resources to reject or disqualify any applicant for city employment convicted of crimes related to participation at the January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol.
That what they want to make illegal aliens police officers and state patrol officers.
The city of Chicago is stealing black people's property, black man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So now everybody know what your aldermen, who are they, what their job is and everything. So you gotta just think to yourself, is my alderman doing what I need them to do? Are they fulfilling the purpose of their job? If they're not, if it's a no, then you already know you gotta get them out. They have to go. We have to go. We have to get these people out. If you want your community to be better, if you want your life to be better, because those are the people who voting, like she said, ShotSpotter. They're voting to sell you out with these abandoned buildings. They are voting to, these are the things that we have to look at.
Yes.
When we look at our community and we don't like when we see, you got to look at your alderman and say, okay, you out of there.
He voted no on the 2025 budget. He said, I voted no on the mayor's proposed 2025 budget. Chicago is at a crossroads, whether it's safety, housing, infrastructure, or small business support. Chicagoans need local government to provide critical services efficiently and innovatively. Our communities also need the city to fund those services without asking working families to contribute disproportionately, whatever, now or later. While this is no easy task, I do not believe the mayor's proposed budget addresses these challenges, nor does it meaningfully set the groundwork for better solutions in the future. We need new ideas ambitious enough to meet our challenges, along with leaders who will work creatively and collaboratively to make them possible. I love how he wants to collaborate with everybody but constituents who come down there with civil rights issues. And we can't wait until next year's budget cycle or the one after that is to craft and take these critical next steps. Many of the problems that got us here, the parking meter deal and persistent pension underfunding, most notably, predate my or any recent mayor's time in office, but voters didn't elect city council or the mayor merely to rehash criticisms of the past. They elected us to chart a more sustainable, exciting course for our city without repeating these mistakes. In the next year, I hope that all of us leaders in the city government can find ways to exercise the principle and thoughtful leadership that the current moment demands. You can read my detailed thoughts below, including my position on a number of important issues. Let's see. I'm just trying to see. He said the budget gap in recent years, the city's reliance on federal COVID relief dollars has allowed us to invest in recovery while preparing for difficult but necessary decisions. But as this one-time fund has been spent down steadily, the deficit has risen steadily. So basically, they just stole all this COVID money from $128 million in 2023 to $538 million in 2024 to $982 million in 2025. The city budgets accurately. Now, mind you, from 128 in 2023 to 530 in 2025 to 982 million in 2025. So the 128 in 2020, that was Lori Lightfoot. Then 538 million was this man, Brandon, and then it goes up to 982 million. And like, do you see that jump?
Yes.
Like, that's crazy. The city budgets accurately predicted the 2025 deficit a year ago, in part because the key drivers of the deficit were well known. These include increased personnel costs tied to recently approved contracts with unions representing city workers, including police and laborers, 304 million, increased pension costs as we climb the state mandated pension ramp, 150 million, and CPS related pension obligations that the city has long covered, 175 million. In addition, the city has recently seen a decline in the personal property replacement tax revenue that the state collects to pay local government to replace money that the municipalities lost when the state took away their ability to tax corporations' personal property. As revenue from this tax returns to historical levels following a sharp spike in 2021 and 2022, 169 million. With large budget deficits projected for 2026 and 2027, city government must reject one-time actions that kick the can down the road. Instead, we need a combination of additional revenue and efficiencies that are structural in nature. And I agree with him. I don't fuck with him, but I agree with him because it's right. There's no money being made.
Mm-hmm.
All this money's being taken out, but there's no there. And then you got the most slowest person on earth under this subcommittee revenue, William Lyon Ass Hall, that he can't there's nothing like.
The Democratic Party have no clue how to govern. They know how to steal money. They know how to tax you, but they don't know how to bring money into the economy. Look how many people leave in Chicago, Illinois. They don't understand that. They feel like they got to tax you, soft on crime. The policies suck. And this is what they do. They have no clue how to run a city.
At all. In his initial so he's talking about property taxes right here. In his initial budget proposal, the mayor recommended increasing property taxes by 300 million. The largest such. Oh, you want to say something? Sorry.
No, I'm just saying they don't know. That's all they know is tax you, right?
Yeah, that's all I know. The largest such increase since 2016. While the city needs new revenue, drastic property tax increases like this risk catching homeowners by surprise. It's very difficult to budget for large one-time increases, putting those on a fixed income in an especially vulnerable position. After closely scrutinizing this aspect of the proposal, I joined my aldermanic colleagues in unanimously rejecting it. Yeah, they had no choice.
Yes.
They were that we did something historical. All of Chicago, everybody was watching. That's what, like, everybody was coming down there, but all of Chicago was watching virtually. You know, like, that was like, yeah, it was. If they would have passed that property tax increase, and still, I mean, they already like looking at getting like ain't no saving majority of these niggas. Mm-hmm. But if that would have went through, like if that literally would have went through, they could have kissed it. They could have kissed it goodbye.
Yeah, they would have sealed the fate. They would have. Yeah, because they was getting calls at the office.
Yeah. Like, it was nothing there. Like, they wouldn't have been able to. Like, even the ones who did vote against it, if we didn't have enough votes, y'all, it was no, hell no. Like, y'all would have had to go get the Department of Justice that next day. Y'all had to all of y'all would have had to fly to DC. To Trump. Yeah. An interim proposal included a much smaller 68.5 million property tax increase tied to the Consumer Price Index (CPI). In recent years, city government has raised property taxes based on CPI several times, which some argued allowed homeowners manageable and predictable increases while responsibly improving the city budget's outlook. This budget does not include any property tax, but taxpayers should be wary. Instead, it relies in part on delaying a $40 million debt payment and hastily throwing together savings that have not been fully vetted. Strategies that, when used in the past, contribute to our current budget crisis. This continued reliance on risky one-time fixes will very possibly lead to a credit downgrading, which we have downgraded.
We already have, right?
We have downgraded. So he was
We
right.
can't.
I mean, no, yeah, he was right. It downgraded. Well, last week it came out.
So it's we can't get a we can't get a
Yeah, we can't get even
get
a
a
payday
loan.
loan.
We
I
can't
don't
get
think we can get a payday loan.
we can't get a loan, and then they already what they voted for that $830 million loan
Oh,
that
yeah,
we already
they stole.
they stole,
The
right? So
infrastructure money.
yeah, it's bad, you all. We can't get
Yeah,
we can't get a furniture. We can't get a renter center
yeah,
loan.
you can't get nothing from Rent a Center.
Yeah, that's how bad we are.
Aaron's don't want nothing to do with us. Potentially costing the city additional hundreds of millions in borrowing costs. So no property taxes now offer little relief when it likely means larger increases later. Finally, it bears emphasizing that homeowners will likely still see an increase to their property tax bills in 2025. The property taxes set by city government are only 23% of your overall property tax bill. The property taxes that CPS sets represents majority of your tax bill, and the district will likely continue raising property taxes in the coming years to help address its own fiscal challenges. Accordingly, the recently elected members to the CPS board will play a key role in deciding how the majority of the residents' property taxes are spent. And his new homeboy, Sean, I think it's Harden or whatever, he done got him a security detail.
Oh,
He's
oh yeah, and they all got raises. They all voted on
they
raises.
all got raises.
Yeah, and then they had the vice mayor got what a $430,000. I mean $400,000
another
salary.
office. I don't even know what they showed the office as. I haven't even seen how the office looks.
Yeah,
So
the vice mayor. You know, who is the vice mayor? What is the vice mayor? We don't know. But yeah, so they all voted for themselves raises, of course. Yes.
Yeah, but the CPS, we got to do a separate one on that, because the CPS person that he appointed over the CPS board, I'm talking about something totally different. He got security, police detail, everything. I don't understand why he got CP. I don't understand why we're paying for this man police detail as board members. A CPS board. As I'm trying to tell you, it's getting weirder.
Yeah, CPS board. You're a CPS board member. Why you got detail? What about
and like they say, he's not even qualified. Like, it's just all fucked
up. Urban, don't Urban and his wife got the police detail or something?
They all got a police detail. Bill got a police detail.
You
got a police detail. You got a police detail.
Right. Why they won't pay for it with their own money? Why we got to pay for that garbage? And then they voting themselves raises. Yeah, this is terrible, you all. Terrible. These people are, yes.
I applaud the mayor's office for declaring a $571 million surplus for unused tax increment financing, the largest in recent memory. The city will retain a quarter of these TIF funds for its own use and send over half of the surplus to Chicago Public Schools to help stabilize the district's budget for the remainder of 2024-2025 year. The TIF money is a piggy bank.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
They should have no oversight of that. Additional new revenue will come from increases in the lease tax on personal property, which applies primarily to cloud and computing services, the entertainment tax, streaming and cable services, and a tax to parking downtown.
That's the new tax. That's the new tax we got with that. Remember when they the budget? That's those taxes that was in that budget.
Yep.
They voted on.
And then the 3 cent. They increased the 3 cents bags. But I ain't gonna hold you. I've been going into these stores and they haven't been taxing the 3 cents. I don't think they give a fuck.
No, it's 10 cents now because it was
Yeah, I
3
mean,
cents.
Sammy, yeah, they haven't given me. I've been getting a free bag. Shout out to the free bag. I ain't gonna get I ain't gonna get the stores out.
Right.
But shout out to the ones. So yeah, he has a lot. Actually, I'm not even gonna hold you. He has a lot of stuff that I did agree with and do agree with. But yeah, we're already seeing what's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Molly, you're right. Cook County land bank is a big problem. Matter of fact, we need to really do a Famous Friday on Cook County land bank because that's a whole nother scam. Let's see what we got. We got some good people over here. What's up, y'all?
Hey,
Okay,
y'all.
let's say we got some good. I love when y'all be engaged. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Y'all be teaching us stuff too.
Yeah.
And the white liberal CTU neighbor said he's tired of Brandon Johnson, but thinks Talaferro is doing a good job. Well, that's because he's a white liberal.
Yeah, these white liberals are horrible.
They're
Yeah.
somewhere else. These aldermen been making deals behind our back. Big deals.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of taxes going up in Illinois on July 1st? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That up too. That's a whole.
That's the bill that Pritzker snuck in, overnight. They didn't read all that money. What was it? Service tax.
Wages are going up in July. Also, it doesn't matter when your property taxes is going up. It doesn't matter about a minimum wage or any wages.
But everything is still too high. You're right.
It ain't.
People got 2 and 3 jobs. People got 2 and 3 jobs.
Yeah.
It don't, but you're gonna get what? $15 now, what, 16, 17? Okay. You still gotta, it's horrible. It shouldn't even have to be that way. The Democrats don't know how to do anything but tax. You spend your money, steal your money, but they don't know how to make money. They don't know how to bring money into and stimulate the economy. That's why all your bills are leaving.
We're anti-WVON. Matter of fact, if WVON was to end all their funding tomorrow, I wouldn't say a thing. They're very one-sided. They don't want to. News ain't never gonna work. Y'all are going. Honestly, all it is our ancestors that's doing it, and I'm thankful for it. But I'm glad that y'all are losing funding. I'm glad that y'all are getting fired. You media black people, because y'all literally are out here giving one side narrative.
Yeah.
Instead of being logical, and seeing both sides and being neutral. So I don't care. I don't care if you. I don't care. Never cared. Never will. Matter of fact, when they say WVON is no longer out here spreading information.
Right.
I'm probably gonna give them a standing ovation.
Yeah. Like we did when Joy Reid got fired. Like we did. We just waiting for The View now. The View. Angela Reid got fired. We just waiting for The View now for them to take them off.
Yeah, The View definitely had. They had a child molester on that motherfucker last week, and he's running for New York City Council. So yeah. So that's that.
You froze up. What you say? What you were saying? You froze up. What you were saying?
The View last week had a whole child molester on there, and he's running for city council. They let him talk and everything. They didn't ask him about. They didn't want to talk about this little 15-year-old he was sexting.
They don't never want to talk about that
as a sex offender.
Yeah, that's just Trump. Unless it's anything about Trump, about Stormy Daniels. They're gonna talk about that, but they don't want to talk about the child. Yeah, this is who these people are.
Right. So my last words on Matt Martin is Matt Martin. The way that he breaks down certain things, I do agree with. And I feel like that's the type of person that you have to be if you are going to do these type of shows. You have to be neutral when it comes to stuff like that. I think it was great they was able to get the ordinance passed when it comes to the pay to play with the politics, because that is a big issue here in Chicago, and they've been getting away with it for a long time. So that was big of him to do that, and not. I mean, it really broke up his ally friendship with Brandon Johnson. You know, so. I agreed with he didn't vote on the budget. I definitely agreed on that, and his thoughts, and even how he broke that down. As far as the ShotSpotter, him voting against it is crazy to me as a black man living in Chicago, raising two black kids, but he does have a white wife, so maybe that's the difference, you know. And then, like I said, I don't appreciate him being as a person who was a civil rights attorney who graduated from Harvard Law School, supposed to be one of the most prominent law schools, you know, and you majored, like you decided that you were going to do civil rights. It's not like you're a lawyer and you're like an environmental lawyer, or you're a lawyer, or you're like you did civil rights. You understand? Right. So yeah, but you do everything but black civil rights. Like if you look at it, immigration, LGBTQ,
they civil rights. She gonna make sure he owns
anything but anti-Negro.
Now I bet you if you had, I bet you if you had a legal coming up there talking about what you were talking about, or a trans person talking about what you were talking about, but not for red, just talking about, I bet you he would have been on it.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, y'all competing with these trans women. That's the thing right there. So that's why they're not coming out. Now they'll show up for these trans women. These men, they'll fight for them.
They'll will.
You're doing too much. I've had 5 or 6 arguments with black men about why y'all up there bothering the drag queen. Like, what? Rashawn.
Yeah, all our men.
Yeah, that's it right there.
All our men is I'm serious. It's sad, but that's the Democratic Party, because we've been voting blue no matter who for 93%.
Because a woman, you gotta protect women.
Yeah, 93% of the time for 60 years. Now the men in the Democrat Party, we stayed too long, and now our black men stayed too long.
I blame Biden. I blame mass incarceration.
Stay too long. Right. Stay too long with that. And now all the men feel like it's okay to be, to be with men.
If you've been a victim of the 94 crime bill and you decided that you start liking things that you
in jail, because you've been locked up for a long time.
Kept you in jail for stupid stuff. Nothing but real talk, though.
Right. You
know what I'm saying? Like this psychologically is, man, it's crazy, but that plays a big part in this too.
Yeah. If you're in jail longer than what you say 2 years, if you're in jail longer than 2 years, they say the likelihood of you being, with another guy is high.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's not, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't care how hard life gets. I ain't sleeping with no man. So it's so if you really are about the type of person you are, or all that stuff. So, I mean, so I can believe that there's some that have the willpower and like, hell no. But there is a lot that that don't. But I do believe, like, this is not another time for this subject, but I do believe that mass incarceration had a lot to do with it. Especially, you got to deal with the ones who feel like they was never going to get out. The ones who keep going back in there because they can't get in a job. Like, they can't get a job. Like, they can't get themselves together. Like, it's just all messed up all around. So, like I'm saying, like, we owe like 3,000 reparation packages. But we can't stick together to get any of them. So it is what it is. But yeah, so going back to Matt Martin, I feel like I don't live in his ward. I'm probably never gonna endorse him. And I feel like also because he's never spoken to me. He's never even came to me and be like, you know what? It's like I guess the crazy thing is I think a lot of them would never spoke to me down there because they would think that I was going to be like, here, nah. Like I would want to give. It's common courtesy. Y'all the public servants. Yeah. Y'all have the option to do right. You see a person like is on the mic coming consistently. You see me there. I would never chase after you. I've never chased after not one alderman now. I've never. I've asked for help on the mic. Hey, y'all, you understand? But I've never ever been like, hey, I've been waiting for him outside, all that stuff. Nah, because you the public servant. Real niggas gonna come to you. I know I would have been came to somebody that was. There's no way that if I get in office, somebody gonna be down there.
Right. No way. There's no way.
And if you try to come down and I try to help you, and I can't help you because the shit that ain't adding up for real, and you try to play me, I'm responding back. I'm gonna say, hold on, I got a response. Because I tried.
You even made me look bad like that, right?
Nah. I know how this works. No. Yeah, we're gonna be transparency right here. I'm going back and forth. We're going back and forth. I'm gonna talk to Donald Trump. What you say again?
Right.
What you say?
It'd be like Donald Trump. Tweet it. Be on. Look, show the receipts on live.
Yeah. And it's like, she just. I'm like, I believe that she's being paid to come down here now because I done gave her everything that she needed. And so now.
Exhibit 1, Exhibit 2, Exhibit 3.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't do that with me. They can go around and tell people that, nah, she ain't got no case. Nah, get on that mic and tell me I ain't got no case.
Right.
Get on that mic and tell me that all my paperwork is not right. Correct.
Right. Show me the receipts.
Y'all don't even show up to work no more.
No. Y'all don't show up to vote.
Yeah, that's how pathetic y'all are.
Yeah.
So, But y'all like to let people come down there and express their issues, and y'all don't say nothing back and think that y'all can go to the side and tell people that person don't know what they're talking about. Nah, do your job. Or don't even. A lot of y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, a lot of y'all ain't gonna win. And no matter how much money y'all got, how much money they've been promising y'all, how much money you think that you're gonna get underneath the table from a church, from whatever, it ain't. Y'all don't even barely got congregations anymore. Right. The only nigga that got a congregation out this month. So I'm just trying to tell y'all that this is over. Like, it's over. So it doesn't really matter. So a lot of y'all really could just resign, take the stairs or take the window. But y'all y'all not getting back in office. Like
you got two options. You're gonna take the stairs or the window. You want to do it the easy way or you want to do it the hard way?
Hold on. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Oh my God! Let's take this.
The easy way, you're gonna do it the easy way, or you're gonna do it the hard way. Your choice.
These niggas is so
So you all listen. We just told you what ordinance supposed to do. So listen, if you know that you are not, like a lot of you all were saying that you can't even, he won't you back, you can't go to his office, then he needs to be out of there. Yeah. He's not fulfilling his duties. And you're paying him. So it's we the people.
right.
When we no longer recognize the people that's supposed to represent us, it's time for them to go. That's
Right.
it, and that's all. And that's why we are leaving the Democrat. That's why we have left the Democratic Party, and we're educating the rest of the people because that party no longer represents not even America. I'm not just gonna say us. I'm gonna say America.
They're embarrassing me and my homegirls.
Yeah.
Because if we can't,
they don't even represent America at this point.
Right. You know this movie?
What's that? I can't see it.
Hold on. You hear it?
I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
You can hear it?
Yeah. Damn.
I can't hear it. Can the audience hear it? Can they hear it?
I don't know. Can you look at the camera?
Can y'all hear it? Anybody say yes, no? Maybe say yes, no. Can somebody say yes, no if you all can hear it? They say no sound.
Damn. Well, anyway, I gotta get this, but it's damn, but that's the it when it's I'm gonna get you sucker, but that's where it gets you can take the window or the stairs.
Oh yeah, that was too funny. You can take the window or the stairs. Right. That was the funniest.
What's the call? I tell you, I gotta get
you gotta get that. And they kept giving no option. And he just he just jumped out the window.
Take the window or take
the stairs. That was funny, yes. I remember that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, because I'm not playing with these people. But yeah, so for the 47th Ward, if you have any other people that would like to run against Matt Martin, that's a Republican or independent Republican. Because independent Republican, like, you know who's a good person to let me see if he still won before I say something. Because I don't want to speak too and then it'd be
right. Richard said, I'm gonna get you sucker, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. We gotta watch that.
Yeah, that was so funny.
We gotta have movie night, guys. CFR movie night.
That was so funny.
It was. My brother.
Yeah, that was like the funniest movie. I used to watch that every day. That was like the funniest movie. Funny. Yeah, I'm gonna get you sucker. That was so funny.
Yeah, so Anthony Napolitano. Anthony Napolitano was a Republican. He is a Republican, I believe. But he now changed to independent. He like the only person that I respect when it comes to his political choice because he's a Republican. He went independent. He wasn't going. He's a police. He was a police officer. That was his. But yeah, and I like Anthony. I like Anthony Napolitano. He's I like him. I know everybody that they say the Hispanic KKK that say are terrorists or white supremacy it's them.
It's them.
They quick
That's
to
who
call
they are.
Anthony Napolitano one. They quick to call Jim Gardner one. I'm like, no,
you all. If you all want to know who young people are, like Andre Vasquez and Jesse Fuentes that got up there on that ice came in. What was it? Win and raided everything that they called Trump. Y'all gotta listen to the words. Everything they called him, that's who they are. So whenever they say something, just know that's who they are. And these are the people, I couldn't believe it. Every single thing, dictator, Marxist, communist, everything they said about Trump, that's who those people are. It was unbelievable.
Is it on your page?
Yeah, I posted it on my page. Everything. It was unbelievable. Everything those people said Trump was is who they are. Period. They describe themselves to a T. I'm serious. So you got to listen to the words that's coming out these people's mouths, especially the Democratic Party. Anything they say that the Republicans are or the Trump is, that's who they are actively right. And if they say they're doing something, that's what they're doing right now. These people are sick. I couldn't believe it. I said,
they sick for real.
Yeah, everything they were saying. I'm
understand the shit, the black and brown shit is over. You understand? That was supposed to be the plan. That didn't work. You understand what I'm saying? So now, it's
crazy.
It's crazy.
And I'm saying we come down there to the city council meeting, and this is all you all do. This is everything that you all do that you're talking about Trump. This is who you all are. We see it. That's what's just the hypocrisy. It's just blatant lies, and they know people don't know. They know people don't not educated enough to be that see what's going on. It's sad. It's sad.
The issue is they hate Trump so much that they refuse to like separate what's really happening, because they hate him so much. Like they hate Trump so much. It's like, okay, can you stop hating him for just like this minute? What's going on in your city? Like you could go back to hating him if you feel like it, but I need you to stop, because right now we're dealing with something that I don't know what this is.
But they want to keep it going. See, those are the ones who's doing it. So of course they hate Trump, because he's the one who's stopping the party, stopping the money. Right. He's the threat. So they legit to have that Trump derangement, because they the criminals. So that's they op. You know what I'm saying? So that is what it is. Like these people who be talking about just talking about Trump a racist, just people, those are people that don't, that just had Trump derangement syndrome, don't even know what they're talking about. But these people, wait a minute, what was that comment that said something about, they said, but I don't trust Ray Lopez. They said Anthony Napoleon and Jim Gardner. That one.
Hold on, I found your, hold on, because these people crazy. What do you say?
So Black T said Anthony Napoleon, and Jim Gardner are the only ones I trust.
Yes. Napolitano and Jim Gardner are the only ones I trust. I don't even trust Ray Lopez.
That's what I'm saying. Yep.
One thing I don't like about what Ray Lopez is doing right now is he's pandering to the Jewish community. And it's not gonna save him, because he needs to it gotta be that's the only thing I'm seeing now. And then
and you was the one who had a whole shelter in our community.
Yeah,
in your ward. Yeah, in our ward and stuff. Stop it.
Here today, what we saw here today, masked individuals. These are people are no law enforcement. These are masked individuals. These are Proud Boys. Don't show their faces. They're kidnapping people. And here in Chicago, we are saying no to the fascist dictator who's kidnapping people. There was a mother who got a 10-year-old boy who now has no mother. ICE, abolish ICE. What we saw here today.
Look at that. Look at that garbage.
These people are no longer.
Look at that garbage.
Do you have
Now
another one?
You see that? Now abolish ICE and fuck ICE. You in America. And that's what you're saying. That's just like
that's our chairman of housing and real estate, y'all. That's the chairman of housing and real estate.
These the same foreigners that tell you screw the police. You don't need the police.
I want to thank. I want to speak to every individual that's watching today. But before I do that, I want to thank every organizer, every IPO member, every attorney, every neighbor, organizations like OCAD, ICER, Palenque, LSNA, who showed up today to protect our neighbors, who showed up today to protect our families. Thank you for putting your bodies on the line to make sure that we can keep families together. But to the individuals that are watching, don't let that fascist man that sits in the Oval Office convince you that he is only deporting criminals. Don't let that manipulative man convince you that we are better without the people that he is kidnapping from our city. Do not let the White House convince you that we are safer because of what he is doing. In fact, what he is doing is putting our communities at the most risk. He is leaving behind children. He is separating families. He is taking away providers. He is taking away organizers from our community. The people that showed up today, they showed up in good faith. They showed up with cases. They showed up with attorneys. They showed up with every single law on their side to ensure that they went back home to their families, and they were kidnapped today by ICE.
They showed up with ankle monitors.
Do not let anyone else convince you otherwise.
Yeah.
And for everyone who is watching who may know a neighbor or a relative who may receive a text message to show up to an appointment that may have come from this nonprofit organization getting millions off kidnapping people.
Shame on them. Shut it down.
Remind them that they have elected officials who will ensure that we shut it down.
Shut it down.
That we will demand our mayor in every single department in the city of Chicago to find where they are renting, and we will shut them down.
Shut it down.
Because in the city of Chicago, there are elected officials who
this is terrorism.
Despite that man that's in the Oval Office,
January 6th.
we have local elected officials that wish, that work, that will put our bodies on the line to keep you safe. Those individuals that showed up today, they're kidnappers. And we can't call them anything else. They robbed families of their mothers. They robbed families of their siblings. They robbed families of their fathers. The image that will forever be ingrained in my head will be the women in handcuffs crying, begging their families to help. The fathers who were taken out of that building crying, begging for us to help. And so we will do just that.
All the people behind her are all criminals.
Until we ensure that we demand for their release, because they have every right to be here. And until ICE and all these organizations understand that Chicago is not the place to come. We won't let it happen. It happened in Minneapolis yesterday. They tried it here today. It won't happen again.
Oh, it's going to happen.
It is my honor to introduce
it's going to happen.
This a fact.
It's going to happen.
Many cases.
Yeah, I promise you it's going to happen.
Okay, pause it. Pause it before you get to him. Pause it. It sounds like an insurrectionist to me. It sounds like they're inciting violence, because you hear what she's saying. We're not going to let them come. They're kidnapping. They're doing this. These terrorists. Sounds like they're violence to me. And that's why the ICE officers are in danger. This is what the Democratic Party does. These people need to be in jail for treason. And I keep saying we keep letting these foreigners come over here and look what they're doing. They don't have no respect for our laws, no respect for our Constitution. They're over there inciting violence too and talking about set the building down that ICE is working in. How you gonna do that? Set the building down from a federal agent. You're going against a federal agent, and you're supposed to be a political elected official.
Because that's a gang member. These are gang. These are the Hispanic KKK. Like I know people laugh. No, these are the Hispanic KKK. All of them. They are running a criminal organization under. It's the Puerto Ricans. It's the Mexicans, the Ecuadorians, the Vinnies, and then you got the CTU working this Haitian as this mayor. Like we is what?
Aiding and abetting criminals. Trump got to lock these people up. All of that is what they're doing. Aiding and abetting, inciting a violence. Everything they said to try to say that Trump did. Now Trump told the people to go peacefully protest. These people saying put bodies, stop them, don't let them come in. They're kidnapping. These are your insurrectionists. These people need to be locked up. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to repost this video and say insurrectionists, terrorists, group, KKK, lock these people up. Ain't nobody playing with these people.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So that's why I need black people to understand that the white Chicagoans is ready.
They ready.
They ready. They ready, and they ready because at the end of the day, this don't make no sense.
Somebody said. Blacks, he said, Puerto Ricans and Mexicans are allies against the Negro. Yep. Keep telling
them. They're trying to conquer. They're trying to conquer America. They're trying to Christopher Columbus. They legit. Oh yeah, these man, what? What they're gonna do is they're trying to change history, right? So say like they are the Puerto Rican, like they want to do like what they say Christopher Columbus did to the Native Americans.
Take America, yo. Take over our communities. Read that one, and that's what they doing. And black, y'all let them. This is how dumb.
Aldermen who wanted to take wards away from the black community during the last remapping. Didn't Vasquez lead that? Yes.
I keep telling y'all, wake up. This like when Zoe keeps saying Hispanic KKK. This is exactly what we're talking about. And you see.
That's why I'm going to DC.
We call the United States of America, watching a fascist, small, weak, evil, insecure man dividing a country.
Listen to the words.
We're seeing families being separated and torn apart. Mothers, daughters being carted out by the state, by government, by people with weapons. And we're watching profiteers like Geo Group falsely getting people here who want to follow the law-abiding people coming to report to do the right thing, and they come to meet the government with guns looking to separate families. There is nothing united about that.
They can go with them.
We're the city of Chicago, a welcoming city unless you're a fascist.
Look at this.
A welcoming city founded by an immigrant and an indigenous woman.
Look. Indigenous.
That is who we will remain.
Yes.
We don't leave.
Legal.
Martin Luther King teaches us all. We have a moral obligation.
Hey, this is the shit I be talking about. Don't bring up Dr. King, Malcolm. I remember Carlos Ramirez Roses got up and said Plymouth Rock didn't land on me, and we land on Plymouth Rock. These people always are using our people. Find who y'all's. Stop using Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Harold Washington. Who y'all got? Who y'all got? Selena? What Selena say about illegal immigration?
To disobey unjust laws. And what we saw today was elected officials and people doing exactly that because they understand if you give an inch, they'll take it all. They come for those they feel are the weakest, those they feel are defenseless. What do you think they're going to do to the whole city of Chicago if we allow any of that to move forward? They won't make a distinction. In this country, we have three groups of people. The indigenous people who had their land stolen from them, descendants of slaves who were stolen from their land and built this country, and everyone else is an immigrant or descendant from immigrants. And if you don't understand that, go look in the mirror, learn your history, and stop allowing yourself to be divided by someone who's seeking to gain power while making this country worse. We're never going to stand for it. And as it relates to the city of Chicago, any involvement that this Chicago Police Department has in this welcoming city is going to be investigated. We're moving forward to call for a hearing to understand what happened here. And any single time there's any interaction, we want to know what's happening because these are your tax dollars, right, in this welcoming city. So we're going to call on Mayor Johnson to make sure there's accountability in place for the police department he is the boss of. But this is something you should all know. We're not going anywhere. Right. We're going to be right here every single, and if you're every,
this right here is a threat, y'all.
We're not going anywhere. Right. We're going to be right here.
No, what he said to Brandon Johnson.
These are your tax dollars, right, in this welcoming city. So we're going to call on Mayor Johnson to make sure there's accountability in place for the police department he is the boss of.
You see that?
But this is something you should all know. We're not going anywhere. Right. We're going to be right here every single time. And if you're out there and need help, si ustedes son inmigrantes y necesitan ayuda, tienen que llamar a ICER por cualquier cosa, porque necesitan información. El número es 855-435-7693. If you're out there and you're undocumented and you're trying to do the right thing and you have a doubt about what text message you're getting about showing up where, you call ICER 855-435-7693. This is the city of Chicago. It is the most American city in the country. It's going to remain that way, even if the White House is un-American. Thank you very much.
Yeah. ICE. If you want to report any illegal immigrants, please call 1-866-DHS-2-ICE. Again, that's 1-866-DHS-2-ICE. Ain't nobody playing with Andre Vasquez, Jimmy Neutron, Brian Cicho Lopez, Beatrice Ponce de Leon, any of these people at all. So this is the number, 1-866-DHS-2-ICE. If you see something, say something. If you see something, say something. Because they think that this Chicago is theirs. I need y'all to understand, I don't know where Danny went. Phone probably died or something like that. But right, shout out to Fuqua. I need y'all to understand Chicago citizens that are American first, who parents, who migrated here from the South, blacks, whites when it comes to the Polish, all that stuff, like the Italians, all these people, the roots of Chicago, the roots of the roots of the roots of the roots, what the foundation of Chicago, like the mob, like the Al Capones, like all this. I need y'all to understand this, and I really need the Italians to understand this too, because this is what I know too, that some was happening in Chicago when y'all allowed them to take that Christopher Columbus statue down, right? And it's still not up. I need y'all to understand, y'all cannot let these Hispanic KKK, Brandon Johnson, corrupt agenda with the CTU and the Vinnies, the Indians that's over here that's magically getting into these things, and the Jews. They cannot be when I say like they can't be a part of like they like we're the Americans is not gonna have like it's not going to be Chicago anymore. Like it's not. We got a whole bunch of corrupt everything, Hispanics, the corrupt Jews, the corrupt there's a corrupt like it's the conquer it's the battle of who's going to take Chicago, because if you let these foreigners take the city like Chicago, then you are basically like it's over. It's over. Like it's over. They're not. It's no black and brown when it comes to governments, politics, and really there ain't no brown and white either. To be quite honest, the brown is dangerous. And when I say the brown is dangerous, the foreign browns, okay, the Indians, the Hispanics, the Palestinians. Okay, this is a fight over trying to conquer who can take Chicago. What foreign country can take Chicago instead of going to their countries and fixing their messed up government? If you can't take care of your government in your hometown, why do you want to come here and try to tell us how to run government in the United States of America, specifically in these blue cities, these urban cities? Like the uncomfortable truth, it's this, like what, black and Negro, that's honestly what it is, and that's for Chicago. That's for Chicago to understand the segregation part, that understands that that we need our infrastructure, we need everything. We're not gonna have anything if we continue to let these people be in control. I said yesterday, and I'm gonna say it again, y'all need to register to vote if you have not registered to vote. And if y'all have registered, if you are registered as a Democrat, y'all ain't no way in the world. Napolitano is a perfect example of what y'all need to do. Okay? Now, I don't know why he went from Republican to independent, but that's here. But he's an independent. He's anti-Democrat. And this city needs to have a red wave, independent wave, whatever, but it cannot, you have to teach these people a lesson. And this comes from white Chicago and black Chicago that has to come together like how niggas came together for 9/11. Yeah, we got to come together. We got to have little mini movements in these blue cities, little mini movements. And this is called the final movement, the conservative movement. If you care about your children, if you care about your future, if you care about your seniors, if you care about your government, and you care about this beautiful city, this city is so beautiful, so beautiful. You got to get these people up out of office. And y'all need to start writing in the Department of Justice. If y'all see anything that's anti-Chicago and anti-American, y'all need to start posting it. Y'all need to start showing up to these, like I said, the committee meetings, city council meetings. If you can't show up, y'all need to be virtual. Y'all need to look up the information. Y'all need to look at all sides. WTTW ain't giving y'all everything that needs to be, that y'all need. Trib ain't giving neither one of them, Chicago Tribune or Tribe, whatever is not. Black Club is the worst to ever do it. Racist Mariah, okay. Sometimes as well, WGN, I don't know, they be going back for their independent, but you need to go and do your own research. You cannot, these people don't have the best interest, and these black people that are in representation, they don't care either. They don't know, they stuck because they done sold us out too. So they can't really do nothing either. So they are just stuck because they got their own shit that they trying to deal with. That's why Rosanna Rodriguez Sanchez and Carlos Ramirez Rosa can run shit the way they can. That's why Anthony Quezada was able to get in there and say, my niggas, while he stands behind that thing. Like, I'm just trying to tell you, these people are not good people. They have an agenda, and their agenda they thought was going to work with the whole black and brown. Harold Washington would want this. Harold Washington would care. We're for. I remember Andre Vasquez told me and Miss Jessica that he got a little bit of black in him, like that was gonna do. Like that was gonna be, yeah, this is the one. Andre Vasquez is a slick piece of shit. And he knows he's a slick piece of shit. Just like everybody else that was standing behind him knows they're a slick piece of shit. Michael Rodriguez ain't shit. You see certain people wasn't out there. Julie Gutierrez wasn't out there. Ruth Cruz, Ruth Cruz wasn't out there. I didn't see Ramirez. And it hurt my heart if I see Julia Ramirez out there, because I really do like Julia Ramirez. You know, I feel like they put her in there thinking that she was going to be with their agenda because supposedly her brother or stuff like that. But I think that she is decent. But I don't know. I didn't see all the people out there. All I saw was the main Hispanic KKKs. That's it. Like that, you got to understand these people are not to be trusted. And also, I want to break this down too. I have a friend who met a guy in the Dominican Republic. And when she realized that she liked old boy from the Dominican Republic, she worked on getting him over here. Green card, all that stuff, right? Then once she did all that, she worked on getting his citizenship. It literally did not take her very long to get him as a citizen. And so when I hear these stories, especially after y'all just stole $400 billion in illegal immigration money and $3 billion almost $3 billion in the city of Chicago, this last administration. Y'all couldn't find no connect at the place where you get your citizenship and pay these people up front to get your citizenship, because I know people who have paid because I had the money, because y'all stealing all our money. So these people who have been here 10 and 15 and 20 years, and y'all all y'all had y'all time to get y'all citizenship. Y'all, you know, that's just what it is. This is what anybody that's walking around here. You understand? Like when a person knows they have a warrant for their arrest, for instance. I knew I had a warrant for my arrest. I probably got more warrants for arrest. I don't know. I'm out here fighting. I'm fighting the city right now. So I'm not thinking about that. But if I was to get picked up for some shit that I did 4 or 5 years ago, I got to deal with that, and I got to deal with the consequences. This is how life works. Y'all can't be these victims when y'all been here for 10, 20, 30 years and did not find nobody to get you your citizenship. Especially when with all the stuff that just came, and they came, the migrant package came with a civil rights attorney. You had them down there talking about the immigrant lawyers, the immigration lawyers. Also, Andre Vasquez, bitch ass, was doing know your rights. Classes and stuff in different wards. We had one on the south side in Inglewood. I think it was for the Haitians and the black people. But he had all this stuff set up for these people to make sure that they had everything they need to stay over here, right? Chicago, I mean, the black citizens can't even tell you how to apply for TIF money, but the Hispanic alderman can get you everything that you need to be taken care of. Even how those people came, they came in droves. And they came. I didn't even know that was happening. But shout out to all the people. I mean, shout out to ICE and all them coming lock them people up. Thank you. However, you saw how all them Hispanic KKK aldermen was out there, and their employees and their staff and the cartel people and all that. They had no choice. Some of the people that they went to go lock up, they're criminals. They criminals, especially that one dude that got out there passenger seat. He is probably a ringleader. I gotta get his name. He probably was a ringleader. That's why they all was really out there, because them people is very important people when it comes to the money in this cartel ring that we're in. So let's get that straight. But I want to say that they show up for their people now. Now, when it comes to the teen takeovers and the shootings regarding these people, you don't never see the aldermen's coming out. The black aldermen, teen takeover, I haven't seen I haven't seen any aldermen come down there to come get these people. I haven't seen it when it's these fights, these big fights with these black kids and stuff that be on TikTok and all that stuff. I don't see any of the aldermen running out and getting that. You're doing any of that. I didn't even see the black alderman put a press conference together about Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover just got commuted. 6 life sentences. But y'all don't do a press conference for anybody. Because y'all don't give a fuck about anybody but yourselves. Y'all are an embarrassment to the culture. You're an embarrassment to the government. You're an embarrassment to your kids. You're an embarrassment to your parents. You're an embarrassment to our ancestors. The fact that when I say we have to remove these niggas from office, we have to remove these niggas from office. They can never ever get back in this. They don't care about nobody but themselves. Real talk. They don't care about nobody but themselves. And this is on our tax dollar. So one thing I will say about the Hispanic gang, they will show up for their people. Legit will show up for them people. So that's how that works. Thank y'all for the people who's watching. I'm gonna be back on here at 11 o'clock because I gotta talk about how the LGBTQ is causing terrible harm in the black communities. It's real bad, and I feel like this is my duty to talk about it because it is Pride Month, and I really don't acknowledge all of the weird stuff that goes on in this month because I feel like it's everybody going to do. I don't really get into everybody's business like that, but I see how detrimental it is to what's happening because they are using us. They're using these kids for this weird agenda that must stop, but it won't stop unless it's talked about and unless we start boycotting any of these corporations and companies that are supporting this nonsense. I'm like I said, I'm super proud of who I am and what I am, but it's a time and a place and it's moderation, and it should not be commercialized the way that it is. But who commercialized it? The government, Obama bitch ass. So that's how that goes. So we'll be discussing that later on at 11 o'clock. Thank y'all for coming to the Matt Martin, and we discussed a little bit more. I don't know where Danny went. Her phone probably died, but appreciate y'all. Thank you. Oh, one more thing. July 3rd, through the 6th. We will be in DC. A lot of people said that they are coming. A lot of people have texted me that they're coming and all that stuff, and I appreciate that. But I need you guys to register. We have a Google Sheets that Ramona put together so we can have a head count of what's going on, so we know the things that we need to bring, how much to bring, and to get the itinerary together, and also buses. You know, there may be some people that cannot fly but would like to come, but would need buses. You know, so we're trying to get all that. We want to try to accommodate everybody because we do need to be down in DC July 4th weekend, especially July, because we need this 14th Amendment is a serious amendment. 13th, 14th, and 15th is the Reconstruction Amendments, the Freedmen Amendments, but the 14th Amendment, however, is an amendment for our due process and equal protection for all. So I need my patriots out there. I need my MAGA supporters out there. I need my Chicago Red supporters. I need my Freedmen supporters out there. I need my pro Zoe supporters, my pro Danielle supporters, and just our allies. You know, at the end of the day, it's really not about the party at this time. It's about the U.S. Constitution and the 14th Amendment that we are going to risk losing if we do not stand together as Americans. Because as you see, what we showed you just previously, that is what they're fighting for. They're fighting for their 14th Amendment too. These Hispanic KKK, so they can come over here and have these babies and just like that, and all, you know, no, it's a scam. It's a scam, just like them being out there was a scam. The whole thing was a scam. They are losing the game. You understand? The black and they thought they was going to breeze their way into the black and brown. Carlos Rosa, Ramirez, whatever the fuck that nigga name is. He said that black people are in the basement and Hispanics are on the first floor. So since he believes that we are in the basement and he's on the first floor, we have to let them know that they're getting evicted. How about that? You're going to get evicted out of Chicago. Okay, you're going to get evicted out of our government. You're going to get evicted. Yeah, like at the end of the day, it's to the point now. These people who are in these unions and these unions that are endorsing these terrorists, that are endorsing these troublemakers, y'all really need to start figuring out how to file a lawsuit, because you don't want your dues to go to these criminals, because that's what it is. They're not American first. They're not for our children. They're not for our city. Therefore, their weird criminal agenda. Okay, they are running this. They are running Chicago. They are running Chicago with the help of this arrogant black piece of shit, Brandon Johnson. So that's that piece, y'all. Chicago, y'all gotta show up. Black Chicago, y'all gotta rise up. Y'all have to take y'all city back, because if not, it's over, and it's gonna have to take y'all. White Chicago, they fed up. They know it's some BS, but they can't say too much, because it's the whole racism thing. Even though I wouldn't, if I was white, I'd say everything you need to say, because at the end of the day, shit it's insanity. It's absurd. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to your city. This is y'all city. It's like Black Chicago City, and the only thing that you guys should be. I'm just so pissed off how these motherfuckers can just sneak into government in 2019 and think that they know what's best for this city. They don't know what's best for this city. This not their city. This y'all city. Y'all got to do what y'all need to do. No, white Chicago has not given up. White Chicago is putting their money together. White Chicago has not given up. So no. Black Chicago needs to wake up. White Chicago done had enough. White Chicago, no. White Chicago is not giving up. White Chicago done had them. White Chicago is all the way in. It's the black Chicago that needs to wake up to join with it. That's the problem. Yeah. So, yeah, you said white Chicago doesn't have the same fighting spirit. Black Chicago has no fighting spirit. Black Chicago don't even know what's going on. They hate Trump too much to figure out what's going on. So I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, that is a negative. Nah, it's Black Chicago ain't doing nothing. Black Chicago don't even want to talk about politics when you come in. Black Chicago will fucking have a heart attack if we walk in with the Chicago Flip Red shirt on. Oh my God. I mean, I can do it, but I mean, I understand that Brandon Johnson is terrible, but I just can't do no Trump. I just can't do no Republican. So you're just gonna let your city just go down. I mean, I'm just saying, because you paying attention to something that don't have nothing to do with how your city is drowning. Yeah, no. Yeah, White Chicago got our back. White Chicago seen it. White Chicago know. White Chicago, I'm trying to tell you, it's Black Chicago that's the slow ones on this motherfucker. Y'all in the slow train. I don't know if it's the Casamigo and the Don Julio and the 1738 that's fucking up your brain because it says cornstarch in it. But I need y'all to get on board. I need y'all to get on board. It's a final move. We don't gotta like each other. I told y'all. We don't have to like it. We can keep this like a science project. We all in a group. We all got to get an A. We all got to get an A. We all American first. After we remove these cancers out of our government, we remove these cancers out of our community, and we go back to doing whatever we need to do. But these people got to get up out of here. And that's it. White Chicago blames everything on black. Black Chicago blames everything on white Chicago. Black Chicago blames everything on Trump right now. So it really doesn't matter. That's your personal thing. And I told you, and what I say about you is, Bliss, when you always invite us out to stuff that's far out in the south suburb, north suburbs, and stuff like that. That's the problem. The Republicans in Chicago is useless. Like the established ones, the white Republicans and stuff, they're useless. They gotta have everything that's out there. They can't have nothing in the city. Because they don't want to deal with Black Chicago, but Black Chicago gonna have to deal with me. And gonna have to deal with Danielle, and gonna have to deal with Chicago Flips Red, because at the end of the day, we the only ones that are trying to get this back to normal. It's a lot of sellouts out here. It's a lot of people who portray that they want to change and all that stuff. But these motherfuckers, if they wanted to change, they would change. None of these black people that are established here. Some is running for office, have not did a press conference about Larry Hoover. Now, it was free Larry Hoover when Larry Hoover had 6 consecutive life sentences. It was free Larry Hoover. Somebody said they asked Wallace Gator Bradley. They asked Wallace Gator Bradley, the FBI informant the GD turned FBI informant. I can't stand Wallace. Anyway, was he going to speak to Pritzker about pardoning Hoover? He starts saying, we just got to give it up to God and let God deal with it in the glory, and let the glory in the God, and da-da-da-da-da. What? Not GD, Gary. No. So I'm just saying, we got a lot of pretenders out here. We got a lot of pretenders out here. We got a lot of people that ain't about that life. That ain't about that life. And then that's just what it is. So, yeah. So for the real black Chicagoans and the real white Chicagoans, it's time to take y'all city back. And that's just what it is. Don't let nobody make it difficult. Don't let nobody try to say it's complicated, because it's really not. And we can start with lawsuits. We all got a lawsuit because they violated our equal protection and our due process, because they choosing our replacements over us. And the reason why black people got to stand up first, because we have allowed these pieces of shit, black representatives in government and in government, and working in government and churches and these nonprofits and these anti-violence, whatever, play us so badly that we don't have nothing in our communities, to the point that they're slowly getting gentrified while they're down there and giving you these town hall meetings in the hood and stuff, talk about something. Yeah, I'm asking the mayor now, because I don't know why the mayor is not giving it to us. Well, you know why? Michelle Harris, Will Hall, David Moore, Emma Mitz, Lamont Robinson, Yancey, because y'all down there voting for everything, for everyone else but us. We got problems. We got problems. We ain't got no representation. We got all cosplay, phony ass people that ain't about the life, and that's just what it is. I don't know where the men at. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's I don't know. But all I do know is that none of this don't make no sense. And another thing is, more white Chicagoan men have came out to support us, even when we was over here on 79th, than the black men have. So to sit here and say white Chicago has given up, nah, they know exactly what's going on. Matter of fact, I'm going to hang out with one of my white guys tomorrow. We're going to the south suburbs to set up shop at one of the softball games out there. On the Little League baseball games out there, to go talk to the suburban moms, okay? Yeah, we got plans. Ain't nobody playing with these people. These people are getting out. They're getting out. Will I do a video on who you think the new governor should be? Yeah, do you see the governor options? Do you see the governor options? Woo. Damn, I was looking at like, damn. Whoever gonna free Larry Hoover, part of Larry Hoover, as soon as they take the oath, yeah, that's who. They gotta sign a pact though. They gotta make sure, they gotta sign a pact with the whole black Chicago, anybody that's a supporter of Larry Hoover, because there's a lot of white people that's another thing too, there's a lot of white people that support Larry Hoover being pardoned too. So again, it's just people aren't out here in the numbers like people think it is, but the last election that we had on the federal level spoke volumes on how many people are tired, even for the ones who sat out. The ones who sat out, that was a lot. That was 17 million people. And he still won by a landslide. Now, I know here, whatever, I didn't even know it was a midterm situation and the Republicans lost bad, but I promise you for 2026, 2027, 2028, I'm gonna get at least 2 of them seats. Chicago Fifth Red. Two Chicago Fifth Red gonna get 2 of them big seats and a lot of them alderman seats. Ain't nobody playing with y'all. Ain't nobody playing with y'all. And y'all going to prison. And y'all going to jail. And it's gonna be forensic audits. So get prepared. And y'all know it. Y'all know it. So let the Hispanic gang up, because everybody, I'm trying to tell you, it's looking real bad for Brandon Johnson, because they're going to not be with Brandon Johnson. They're going to choose themselves first in the cartel who's running the city. So that's why he's trying to pander to the black people, and it ain't no saving him either, because as soon as he got in office, he immediately bent over for the cartel. So I'm just letting you know it's going down. It's going down. But just keep God first and be good to people. Do right by people and be good to people. And I think that is the way that all of us as a community, because right now that's how y'all got to think of Chicago. The real Chicagoans, the ones who love Chicago, we gotta be a community. Mr. Gregory used to always talk about that a lot, community, and that's what I think that we need. And if y'all ain't on no community stuff, and I mean community, white, black, the Hispanics, the ones who are Chicago first, love this city, then we're going to be good. We're going to win. But if y'all are going to not be in community and be willing to continue to deal with this corruption, weird cycle, because I don't care, the Democratic machine, we broke that. The whole shit, we broke that. The little progressive one that was about to start, we got that too. So now it's up to us to build the right machine that will take care of our children, that will take care of our seniors, that will take care of our businesses, that will keep our homes, that will get into community, that will have open door policies. None of these officials have open door policies. And they all got these chief of staffs that are put in to act like they are they're for the people. Nah, all of this shit is set up, is designed to not help nobody. And it's gonna and you gotta pick, and you gotta break this shit up. And we breaking it up. I'm not wasting breath, but you don't have to be on this stuff like that. Let me tell you something. That's why I just ban people. I'm going to continue to ban people that going to come on here and tell me I'm wasting my breath when I talk to my people. If you say anything negative when it comes to it, because I feel like you getting paid to come in here by one of them bullshit ass pieces of shit in the administration or the alderman, you will get banned. And I don't play them games. And how you can make 48 new what's it called? 48 new pages. I'm going to continue to ban you. I know. If you haven't seen her, then clearly she doesn't still do Famous Fridays. Yes, all the way to prison. Yes. All the way. Let me make this too. I wish Miss Jessica the best. Like I said, I'm on this side pushing my situation as far as what I want to do. Miss Jessica really wasn't in the politic part, and that's just what it is. I saw myself going a different direction, and she's going in her different direction. And that's just what it is. I hope everything is well with Miss Jessica. I just saw she was in Ohio with Vicky Dillard and them. She looks great. And that's just it. She's a powerful voice. She never was a social media person. Maybe she's on social media now, or maybe she gets on social media. But yeah, so a lot of people keep asking that. But yeah, so I still go down to city council. I may see her down there. I don't know. But yeah, I went a different route. She went a different route. And that's just what it is. I'm 39. She's retired, and it's like everybody else. She didn't even really want. She should not have. She should not have had to been down there for that long over property. At the end of the day, she had property in South Shore, so that's just what it is. That's how we met. We met because we both had a property issue. I didn't know Miss Jessica before that. She didn't know me before that. We both had a property issue, and we decided to be down there together and figure it out. But like she's told everybody, that if her situation didn't get fixed, she still was going to be down there regardless. And the same with me. You understand? So that's just what it is. And some people just do not like social media. She was not a social media person. I remember I tried to set her up with social media. She wasn't with social media. Some people just don't like social media, and that's it. So so a lot of people ask me that, but yeah, I wish her the best. If she ever need anything from me, I'm there. If she wants to ever do a Famous Friday again, yes, of course. If it wasn't for Miss Jessica, I wouldn't even have a YouTube page. Like I said, I tell people all the time, Miss Jessica is the reason she pushed me. She said, I got to get the information out there. She used to always tell me that, Zoe, you need to get a YouTube page so you can put the information out there. You're full of information. So so thank you for that. But she's went her way and I went my way. Right. And that's true. Like there's people, I'm new to this. And so I'm going to fight differently than everybody else going to fight. I mean, like I said, I could have quit a long time ago. I was called all types of shit. Fat dyke plant, rainbow plant. I came from, I forgot who. I think Kamala brought me here first. All that stuff. People saw me hanging with certain people, so they got footage of me with da da da. I was called all types of stuff. I just wanted the city of Chicago to pay my mama her money and pay my godfather his money, and I go my way. And they was like, nah. And then I guess they thought they was gonna continue to hold me like I'm like some bitch ass nigga. And I just told them, like, look, man, like, if you take it there, I'm gonna take it to hell. Like, like y'all not gonna continue to argue. Y'all not gonna continue to ignore me or my family. Like, nah, I know that's what y'all used to doing and win, but y'all not gonna win with me. So it became a competition to me. And like I said, if you do not settle my family's case, I'll flip this shit red. I was adamant about that. And also I always said that if you guys didn't settle my case, I would run for office and settle my own case. Like I was like, those were the two things that I said. The two things that I said, and my case still has not been settled. And I still got to flip this city red. Well, you can go online. As long as you go online, but as long as you're paying attention to what's going on and vote. We need everybody to vote. Yes, thank you, Miss Mama Doris. And I'm excited for tomorrow. Like, I stopped everything. I was supposed to have an event tomorrow night. I ain't even doing it because I am going to have Mama Doris tomorrow on the show. And you got to understand, Mama Doris, I feel like, is the glue. She's the glue, and she's that elder voice, and she is full of a lot of information and data that she didn't even have to do. Mama Doris does not need to do. She don't need to get in the fight. Mama Doris is 81 years old. That lady don't have to get in the fight. She got the data. She got everything when it comes to us, and she doesn't have to do this, but she's doing this because she sees the need. And that is super important, just like I don't have to be doing this, but I see the need. So you got people who see the need and it's going to link up, and eventually other people are going to see it and link up, and we are going to save this beautiful city, and this will never happen again. Never happen again. All right, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Well, see y'all at 11 o'clock tonight, and then tomorrow with Mama Doris. Peace.